guess what, Access people? You're not alone. I've got a cold too. But there's nothing like a spoonful of Access to help that medicine go down. And on this week's show, we have a fiddle with PlayStation Vita at a special Access event in London, and look tiny as we chat to WWE aces Zack Ryder and Randy Orton. But first, we're riding a brilliant thunder horse in our ultra pretty Game of the Week Final Fantasy 13-2. Hey, don't run! Big Japanese RPGs with mega cutscenes and inexplicable battle systems might be out of fashion right now, but Final Fantasy 13-2 could well be the one that turns the tide and brings back massive hair in a big way. Guided by fan feedback regarding Final Fantasy XIII's endless corridors of angry mutant tomatoes, developer Square Enix has pried the world of this sequel wide open and thrown in a new time travel mechanic for good measure. Here to explain more is game director Motomu Toriyama.
The main theme behind Final Fantasy XIII-2 is time travel, which we've incorporated using a system called Historia Crux. This allows the player to choose the time and place they want to play in, and as a result, every part of 13-2 will progress according to the player's choices.
It also means we'll be seeing some returning faces from Final Fantasy XIII, though not always exactly how you remember them, while the main story concerns Lady Hero Lightning being sucked through a crack in space-time and finding herself lost in a stormy limbo called Valhalla, which might sound strange until you remember that she spent the last game rescuing her sister Serah, who'd been turned into a crystal. Now it's Serah's turn to take centre stage, trying to figure out how to fetch Lightning from the universe's basement with help from new boy Noel. And she'd better hurry too, because also in Valhalla is new bad boy Caius, complete with lustrous hair and a massive sword. He's 13-2's headline villain and a definite improvement over 13's wrinkled papal nemesis, helped in large part by savage combat skills and moody one-liners.
Embrace the terror.
Ooh, menacing. But seriously, what shampoo are you using? When you do eventually cross blades with Caius, you'll do so using the Paradigm Shift battle system, which again allows you to juggle your party's fighting tactics on the fly. New tweaks to the setup include cinematic interludes, press circle to win, plus you can capture monsters and have them fight alongside you, as producer Yoshinori Kitars explains.
You can now recruit over 150 types of monster, and they'll fight for you. Each monster has different abilities, so you can customize them to your playstyle.
Sounds brilliant, and that's before the really big news that for the first time since Final Fantasy VI, you'll be joined by unofficial series mascot Mog the Moogle, and if that doesn't cheer you up, you can throw him away like a furry grenade. Final Fantasy XIII-2 arrives with a fresh sense of freedom and a plucky new cast of unlikely heroes on February the 3rd. Time for a roundup of the week's essential news now in your PlayStation briefing. Rockstar Games has ramped up production on noirish sequel Max Payne 3, which sees the gruff ex-cop working protection in the party town of Sao Paulo. Looks pretty sweet too, what with all the dancing, fist bumps and not the face! Luckily, Max takes the erupting violence well by shaving his head and shooting everyone in Brazil like an angry bald gorilla. Glad to have you back, Max, you big crazy you. Talking of comebacks, the internet's been buzzing with news of Snake's possible return in Metal Gear Solid 5, following hints dropped by series creator Hideo Kojima in an interview with official PlayStation magazine. Joel Gregory was their man on the ground.
He didn't say they're making Metal Gear Solid 5, but he said that they probably will at some point, which as far as I'm aware is the first time he said that. I think the strangest thing was what we led off with, that he wanted to kill Snake at every point. You'd think he might like the star of it, but apparently he really wants to kill it.
To round off, a quick reminder that you've got until 5 p.m. on Friday the 9th of December to vote for your Access Game of the Year. The 5 heavyweights that made the final shortlist are Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 3, Batman Arkham City, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, and of course Uncharted 3. Get on over to facebook.com/PlayStation Access to cast your vote, and the winner will be announced in our final episode of the year. Wheel out those download trolleys, it's time for your weekly roundup of PS3 excellence on the store. Appearing on the store in a glut of pixelated body parts is Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. That's collection with a kicking K, obviously. Oh no, wait, a decapitating K. A ripping a person's heart out K. Oh, good lord. The collection bundles Mortal Kombat's 1, 2 and 3 together for the first time in shiny HD, so you can party like it's 1992 while cutting a lady in half. Even more blood spattered are the cutscenes of our next downloadable title. Anyone got a towel? It's BioWare's Fantasy Hackfest Dragon Age 2. As fully customisable hero Hawk, it's your job to save the city of Kirkwall, impale a few dragons, and then probably go back to playing Skyrim. Finally is the Back to Karkan DLC for peerless online shooter Battlefield 3. The expansion pack chucks in 4 classic maps from Battlefield 2. That's Strike at Karkand, Sharky Peninsula, Gulf of Oman and Wake Island, and reimagined them all in glorious Frostbite vision. It's available for download right now, so we'll see you in the war zone. With muscled grappler WWE 12 on shop shelves now, we caught up with 2 real-life stars of sports entertainment, Randy Orton and Zack Ryder. We began by trying not to stare at Randy's arms and asking him what it felt like to be the game's cover star.
I was on the cover one time, but there might have been 3, 4 other guys on the cover, so to be the first person, like the Madden cover, to be the sole superstar on the cover, that's awesome.
We were also surprised to find Randy also manages to fit in some serious gaming.
Assassin's Creed is one of my more favorite games. I beat 1, 2, and Brotherhood. Red Dead Redemption was awesome. Crisis 2, Arkham City is awesome. God of War, of course.
And he's not the only grappling gamer either.
I know like Mark Henry, Kofi Kingston, even Kane. Big gamers.
Although that list doesn't include internet champ Zack Ryder.
Yeah, that was my life as a little kid, was playing video games. But now it's way too detailed, way too time consuming, way too hard.
What he is good at though is winning the internet. He told us how.
I mean, you just gotta be persistent. You know, I've been doing my YouTube show for 39 weeks. Every week, just doing a show. Some weeks are better than others. Some weeks are great. Some weeks suck, but you just gotta keep banging it out, be consistent, and then, you know, stay on that Twitter. My whole life is Twitter. My girlfriend broke up with me because all I did was tweet. I mean, you just gotta, you know, just tweet. That's what I gotta say.
Sound advice. And talking of Twitter, it's the perfect time to mention that you can follow us by heading to twitter.com/psaccess. We've got a pre-Christmas treat for you now as Access All Areas rocks up in London for the first hands-on with PlayStation Vita. Those of you lucky enough to attend got an eyeful of awesome thanks to Blockbuster in Your Pocket Uncharted Golden Abyss. Plus there were excellent showings for intuitive arcade 'em up Little Deviants, camera-happy brawler Reality Fighters and glowing future racer Wipeout 2048. Among the attendees were the developers responsible for some of Vita's launch lineup, so we stuck our camera in their faces and asked which handheld title they were most looking forward to playing. In the bath, obviously.
In the bath?
Well, it'd be Motorstorm RC. Short, quick-fire gameplay. I'm sure I could have a lot of fun while I'm in the bath.
In the bath.
A lot of them are really good for the bath. Wipeout 2048, Super Stardust Delta is great for the bath. Gaming in the bath's the way it should be done, right?
I'm gonna have to say Reality Fighters for sure. You know, nobody's ever played a fighting game in my bathroom, so maybe I can take a panoramic picture of my bathroom and send it around the world for them to see myself in all glory.
Naked devs aside, the most important part of the day was finding out what you lot thought after trying Vita for yourselves, complete with dual analog sticks, gorgeous 5-inch OLED screen and rear multi-touchpad.
I think this is an absolutely amazing console. It's really light, the graphics are amazing. We've just played some cross-play. The fact that it's absolutely in sync with the PS3 is absolutely phenomenal.
The screen looks really good and the power of it and the experience you get on such a small device is very exciting.
You've got the touch screens, you've got the motion control, augmented reality, plus the twin sticks and the buttons, so it just gives you endless opportunities, so love it.
We'll have tons more on Vita during the run-up to its February launch in the UK. For the chance to bag yourself a place at future Access events, direct your browsers to facebook.com/PlayStation Access. Our parting shot this week sees us returning to the madcap delights of Saints Row the Third, where we always figured octopus launchers and jumbo-sized man appendages were the peak of silly. We were wrong. Turns out you can play as a toilet. No, really, a toilet. Look, hijacking cars, smacking pedestrians. It's all pretty bog standard, to be honest. For more video hijinks or to find out about future Access events, head to facebook.com/PlayStation Access.